Commander Kate Wilson stood at the viewing port of the United Earth Alliance starship Intrepid, watching as the massive Galactic Confederation station grew larger in the distance. The station looked like a giant silver snowflake against the black of space, with lights blinking along its many arms. "First time meeting aliens?" Dr. Alan Murphy asked, joining her by the window. Kate nodded. "First time for all of us, I guess. Humanity's big debut." The Intrepid was humanity's finest vessel, built specifically for this historic first diplomatic mission. 6 months ago, a Confederation scout ship had discovered Earth, and now humans were about to officially join the galactic community. "I still can't believe they call us Deathworlders," Alan said with a small laugh. "Makes us sound so scary." Kate smiled. "Well, Earth is apparently more dangerous than most inhabited planets. Higher gravity, more extreme weather, more predators." To them were the tough guys. The ship's communication system beeped. "Commander Wilson, please report to the bridge. We're beginning docking procedures," Captain Diane Ellis's voice announced. When Kate arrived on the bridge, Captain Ellis was speaking with their pilot. "Commander, good. We're about to dock. The welcome committee is already waiting in their hangar bay." "Any last-minute advice, Captain?" Kate asked. "Just remember your training. You're representing all of humanity today." The captain's expression softened. "And try not to scare them. Apparently our biology makes them nervous." Kate straightened her blue uniform and checked her reflection in a nearby screen. She looked professional and calm, hiding the excitement bubbling inside her. Humanity was about to meet their galactic neighbors. The Intrepid slid smoothly into the docking bay. Through the front view screen, Kate could see a group of 5 very different alien beings waiting on a raised platform. They stood beneath a banner with symbols that the ship's computer translated as, "Welcome, humans of Earth." "Showtime," Captain Ellis said. "Commander Wilson, you're up." Kate led the small diplomatic team out of the ship. The hangar was huge, with high ceilings and smooth white walls. The air felt slightly thinner than Earth's, but was breathable. She took a deep breath and walked confidently toward the waiting aliens. The group of aliens was more diverse than Kate had expected. The tallest had blue feathers covering its body and a sharp beak. Next to it stood what looked like a 6-foot lizard standing on 2 legs wearing some kind of armored vest. There was also a short, round being with 4 arms, another that seemed to glow slightly, and one that looked almost like a floating jellyfish. "Greetings, humans," the feathered one said, its words translated through the small device in Kate's ear. "I am Ambassador Zixtal of the Galactic Confederation. We welcome you to Station Harmony." Kate stepped forward. "Thank you, Ambassador. I am Commander Kate Wilson of Earth, and we are honored to be here." She gave a small bow as they had been instructed during their briefing. The lizard-like alien was staring at Kate and the other humans with narrow eyes. Kate noticed its hand rested on what appeared to be a weapon on its belt. "This is Captain Vorex," Ambassador Zixtal explained, noticing Kate's gaze. "He is in charge of security for the Confederation Council." Captain Vorex didn't bow or extend any limbs in greeting. "Your species has quite the reputation already, Commander," he said, his voice deeper and rougher than the ambassador's. "Not many species evolve on worlds as harsh as yours." "We're just happy to be here," Kate replied diplomatically. "We have much to learn from the Confederation." Ambassador Zixtal's feathers ruffled slightly in what Kate hoped was a positive gesture. "We have arranged quarters for your delegation. Tomorrow we will begin formal negotiations for Earth's potential membership in the Confederation." As they walked through the station's wide hallways, Kate noticed many alien workers stopping to stare at the humans. Some even backed away or moved to the other side of the corridor. "Is something wrong?" Kate asked the ambassador quietly. Zixtal's head tilted. "Many have never seen humans before. Stories of your planet's conditions and your species' durability have spread quickly. Some find it unsettling." "Unsettling?" Dr. Murphy asked from behind them. "In what way?" The ambassador seemed uncomfortable. "Your bodies contain a skeleton made of calcium, yes? You breathe oxygen, which corrodes metal. Your planet has such strong gravity that you can withstand pressures that would crush many species. And your immune systems... The ambassador's voice trailed off. Our immune systems, Kate prompted. You have microscopic organisms living inside. You that fight other microscopic organisms, Zixtal said. Many find the concept disturbing. Kate exchanged glances with Dr. Murphy. They hadn't considered that normal human biology might seem frightening to aliens. They arrived at a large door that slid open to reveal a spacious room with views of the stars. These are your quarters, Ambassador Zixtal said. We have tried to adjust the environment to Earth standards, but please inform us if anything is unsuitable. Thank you, Ambassador, Kate said. We appreciate your hospitality. After the aliens left, Kate gathered her team. Well, that was interesting. Apparently, we're the scary ones. Dr. Murphy was already examining the room's computer system. Their medical database is fascinating. According to this, most Confederation species have never evolved in predator-rich environments. They find our digestive acids and healing abilities almost unbelievable. That explains the stares, said Ensign Frank Rodriguez, the young security officer who had accompanied them. I thought I had something on my face. We need to be careful tomorrow, Kate said. No sudden movements, and let's try not to mention anything about Earth that might sound threatening. Lisa Garcia, their communications specialist, looked up from her tablet. Like what? Like how we used to hunt animals for food, or how we enjoy spicy food that would probably burn their mouths, or how we sometimes break bones and just heal from it, Kate replied. We don't want to reinforce this Death Worlder image. The team spent the rest of the evening reviewing diplomatic protocols and studying information about the various Confederation species. Kate learned that Ambassador Zixtal's species, the Avali, came from a low-gravity moon with no predators and almost constant mild weather. No wonder they found humans intimidating. As she prepared for sleep in the surprisingly comfortable alien bed, Kate thought about tomorrow's negotiations. She had trained for months for this mission, but nothing had prepared her for being viewed as a monster just for being human. We'll just have to show them we're friendly monsters, she whispered to herself as the room's lights dimmed automatically. Outside her window, the stars looked the same as they did from Earth. But Kate knew everything had changed. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe, and their place in the galactic community would depend on how they handled the next few days. Little did Kate know that a simple accident the next day would turn everything upside down and give the aliens even more reason to fear and eventually respect their human visitors. The Confederation's grand diplomatic chamber was unlike anything Kate had ever seen. The ceiling arched high above them, made of a clear material that showed the stars. The walls glowed with a soft blue light, and the floor was polished to a mirror shine. In the center stood a large round table with seats for all the representatives. Kate walked beside Ambassador Zixtal, trying not to stare at the many strange aliens filling the room. Some floated in the air, others moved on many legs, and a few seemed to be made of living crystal. Remember, Captain Ellis whispered to the human team, we want to join the Confederation for trade and knowledge exchange. Show them we're peaceful. Kate nodded, straightening the collar of her formal uniform. Dr. Murphy followed behind with his medical kit, and Ensign Rodriguez kept a watchful eye on the room. Lisa Garcia carried a tablet with all their diplomatic notes. Honored representatives, Ambassador Zixtal announced, his voice carrying across the chamber. I present the delegation from Earth, a newly discovered world in the Orion Arm. All eyes turned to the humans. Kate felt like a zoo exhibit. Please take your seats, said a tall being with skin that shimmered like mother of pearl. I am High, Counselor Neth, leader of the Confederation Council. The humans sat at their assigned places. Kate noticed the seats were oddly soft, almost like cushions filled with water. Before we begin formal negotiations, Counselor Neth continued, we have prepared a ceremonial greeting. Each new species receives a gift that represents unity among the stars. Captain Vorex approached carrying a small box made of dark wood. His reptilian eyes never left the humans as he placed the box on the table. Inside was an object that looked like a star made of metal, with sharp points and glowing blue lines running through it. This is the Star of Union, Zixtal explained. It contains materials from every member world of the Confederation. As is tradition, your representative will add a small piece of Earth material to it during the signing ceremony. Kate smiled. We are honored. We have brought a small piece of granite from our tallest mountain to add to the star. Counselor Neth gestured to Kate. As the ranking diplomat, Commander Wilson, please accept the Star of Union as a symbol of our future cooperation. Kate stood and reached for the star. As she lifted it from its box, she misjudged its weight. It was much lighter than it looked. The star tilted in her hand, and one of its sharp points slid across her palm. Ouch, Kate said softly, but kept her composure. She placed the star back in its box and looked down. A line of red blood was already welling up across her palm. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Ambassador Zixtal let out a shriek and backed away, wings flapping in distress. Several other aliens jumped to their feet. One smaller alien, with 4 eyes, fainted, falling to the floor with a thud. Emergency medical situation, Captain Vorex shouted into a device on his wrist. Human biological containment breach in the council chamber. Alarms began to sound. Red lights flashed along the walls. Kate stood frozen in confusion. What's happening? She asked. But most of the aliens were too busy panicking to answer. An aquatic-looking alien with blue-green skin rushed toward the door. The human is losing its internal fluids. We must evacuate. Dr. Murphy quickly moved to Kate's side. Let me see, he said calmly, examining her hand. It's just a small cut. Kate was bewildered. Why is everyone freaking out? Captain Ellis and Ensign Rodriguez were trying to calm the situation, but the aliens were moving farther away from Kate, some pointing at her hand in horror. Commander, Rodriguez said, reaching into his pocket. Do you need a Band-Aid? Yes, thank you, Kate replied, taking the small adhesive bandage. She cleaned the cut with a tissue from her pocket and carefully applied the Band-Aid. The bleeding stopped immediately. The room had gone completely silent. Every alien was staring at her with expressions that ranged from terror to amazement. A floating jellyfish-like being moved closer, tentacles waving nervously. You have stopped the fatal wound? With that tiny patch? Kate looked up in surprise. Fatal wound. This? It's just a little cut. Dr. Murphy's eyes widened as understanding dawned on him. Commander, he said quietly, I think for these species a cut like that might actually be dangerous. Ambassador Zixtal, who had been hiding behind a larger alien, slowly approached. His feathers were still puffed out in distress. You mean, you are not dying? Of course not, Kate said. This will heal in a day or two. It's nothing serious. The aliens began murmuring among themselves. Several pointed at the Band-Aid as if it were magical. A medical team rushed into the room wearing what looked like full hazmat suits. They stopped abruptly when they saw Kate standing calmly, the wound already covered. The emergency is contained? Asked the lead medic, voice muffled through their suit. Kate held up her hand, showing the Band-Aid. There was no emergency. I just got a small cut. The medical team looked at each other in confusion. One of them approached Kate cautiously and scanned her hand with a device. Impossible, the alien murmured. The external protective layer has been breached, but your internal systems are not shutting down. Dr. Murphy stepped forward. Excuse me, but I believe we're experiencing a misunderstanding about human physiology. Our skin can be damaged without causing serious harm to our bodies. You do not leak to death? Asked Counselor Neth, who had returned to the room after the initial panic. Kate tried not to smile. No, Counselor. Human blood clots quickly to stop bleeding, and our skin heals itself. And that small device helped you? Captain Vorex asked, pointing at the Band-Aid. It's called a Band-Aid, Kate explained. It just keeps the wound clean and helps stop the bleeding faster. The aliens were all talking at once now. Kate caught phrases like incredible healing and biological marvel and terrifying implications. Counselor Neath raised all 4 of their arms for silence. I believe we need to adjust our understanding of our Earth friends. Perhaps we should postpone formal negotiations until tomorrow and instead use today for a cultural and biological exchange. Ambassador Zixtal had finally calmed down. Yes, that would be wise. Commander Wilson, would you and your medical officer be willing to explain more about human healing abilities? Kate looked at Dr. Murphy, who nodded eagerly. We would be happy to, she said. As they were led to a different room, Kate noticed the aliens kept a slightly greater distance from her than before. The simple band-aid on her hand had somehow made them even more cautious around humans. I think we just discovered why they call us Death Worlders, Kate whispered to Dr. Murphy. To them, we're practically indestructible. Dr. Murphy nodded, his eyes bright with scientific interest. And we haven't even shown them how we handle broken bones or fevers yet. Kate winced at the thought. Let's save those revelations for later. I think they've had enough excitement for one day. The human team followed their alien hosts, unaware that their demonstration of basic first aid had just changed the course of interstellar relations forever. The medical bay on the alien station was filled with blinking lights and strange equipment. Kate sat on an examination table while at least 20 alien medical staff watched her from a safe distance. Dr. Murphy stood beside her trying to answer their many questions. So the red fluid, blood, carries oxygen throughout your body? Asked Dr. Greelvach, the Confederation's chief medical officer. He was a short, gray-skinned alien with 4 arms and large black eyes. That's right, Doctor, Murphy replied. Our blood contains red blood cells that transport oxygen from our lungs to the rest of our body. And you lose this blood regularly without dying? Another alien medic looked horrified. Kate tried not to smile. Small amounts, yes. Our bodies make more blood constantly. Dr. Greelvach moved closer, examining the Band-Aid on Kate's hand with a scanner. And this device, this Band-Aid, it helps heal the wound? Not exactly, Kate explained. It just keeps the cut clean and protected while our body heals itself. Our skin can repair itself. The aliens murmured to each other in amazement. Doctor. Greelvach turned to Dr. Murphy. In most Confederation species, a breach of the outer protective layer is catastrophic. Many of us have minimal self-healing abilities. Dr. Murphy's eyes widened. That would explain the panic. For us, this kind of small injury is so common that children barely cry about it. Children? An alien with purple tentacles moved forward. Your young experience these injuries? All the time, Kate said. Children fall down, get scrapes and cuts. It's part of growing up on Earth. The medical staff looked stunned. One of them was taking rapid notes on a device similar to a tablet. Lisa. Garcia entered the medical bay looking worried. Commander, there's a situation. The diplomatic team is waiting for updates and rumors are spreading throughout the station about humans being unkillable. Kate sighed. Great. That's not going to help with negotiations. Dr. Greelvach's large eyes blinked rapidly. Your healing abilities are remarkable to us. Many species here evolved in much safer environments than Earth. I'm beginning to understand that, Kate said. On Earth we have predators, natural disasters, diseases. Our bodies had to evolve to survive all of that. May I ask a personal question? Dr. Greelvach said hesitantly. Kate nodded. Have you ever experienced a broken bone? The room went silent. Every alien stared at Kate. Yes, when I was 12. I fell out of a tree and broke my arm. Kate said, it casually, but the effect on the aliens was immediate. One medical officer backed away quickly. Another made a sound like a squeak. Dr. Greelvach froze completely. And you survived? He finally asked. Of course. They put my arm in a cast and it healed in about 6 weeks. Dr. Murphy jumped in. Human bones can repair themselves too. The broken ends grow back together if they're properly aligned. 6 weeks? Dr. Greelvach seemed unable to process this information. A broken support structure would be fatal or at least permanently disabling for most of our species. Kate was starting to realize just how different humans were from the Confederation species. No wonder they called Earth a death world. A communication device on the wall beeped. Dr. Greelvach, came Ambassador Zixtal's voice. High Counselor Neth requests the humans' presence immediately. Dr. Greelvach acknowledged the message and turned to Kate. It seems your diplomatic skills are needed, Commander, but I would very much like to continue our medical discussions later. Of course, Kate replied. She stood up and followed Lisa out, with Dr. Murphy right behind her. As they walked through the corridors, Kate noticed aliens moving out of their way, staring with what looked like a mixture of fear and awe. They're treating us like we're made of steel, Kate whispered to Dr. Murphy. To them, we practically are, he replied. I've been looking at their medical database. Most Confederation species have minimal healing abilities, thin protective layers, and fragile internal structures. What we consider minor injuries could kill them. They arrived at a small private meeting room where High Counselor Neth waited with Captain Vorex and Ambassador Zixtal. Captain Ellis was already there. Commander Wilson, Counselor Neth said as they entered. I must apologize for the confusion. Earlier, we should have studied human physiology more carefully before the meeting. No apology needed, Counselor, Kate said. We had no idea our biology would be so surprising to you. Captain Vorex was staring at the Band-Aid on her hand. Your wound. It is truly not serious. Kate peeled back one edge of the Band-Aid to show them. The aliens leaned forward nervously. The small cut was already beginning to close. It's already healing, she explained. By tomorrow it will be much better. Remarkable, Counselor Neth said. We must reconsider many aspects of our potential alliance in light of this information. Captain Vorex nodded. Your species' durability could be extremely valuable to the Confederation. Kate raised an eyebrow. Valuable? In what way? Many environments in our galaxy are too harsh for our member species to explore or settle, Counselor Neth explained. Planets with stronger gravity, thinner atmospheres, more radiation. Sounds like Earth, Dr. Murphy said. Exactly, Ambassador Zixtal added, his feathers lying flat now that he was calmer. Humans could go places most of us cannot. You could handle emergency situations that would be fatal to other species. Kate began to understand. What had seemed like a diplomatic disaster might actually be an advantage. Humans' natural toughness, something they took for granted, was a rare and valuable trait in the galaxy. I believe we should continue our formal negotiations tomorrow, Counselor Neth said. Tonight we would like to host a cultural exchange. Our people are very curious about humans now. Captain Ellis stepped forward. We would be honored, Counselor, They left the meeting room. Lisa leaned close to Kate. Did we just go from scary monsters to valuable allies because you got a paper cut? Kate laughed softly. Apparently so. The Band-Aid might be the most important diplomatic tool we brought. That evening, the human delegation found themselves in a large hall filled with curious aliens. News of the indestructible humans had spread throughout the station. Kate and her team spent hours answering questions about Earth, human bodies, and how they survived in what the aliens considered an extremely dangerous environment. Dr. Murphy showed a group of alien medical students pictures of Earth animals, plants, and weather. They gasped at images of lions, hurricanes, and volcanoes. And humans live with these dangers? One student asked in disbelief. We've adapted to them, Dr. Murphy explained. Just like you adapted to your worlds. Across the room, Kate noticed Captain Vorex watching them thoughtfully. The security chief who had been so suspicious now seemed to be seeing humans in a new light. Not as threats, but as potential protectors. Kate touched the Band-Aid on her hand and smiled to herself. Their mission was taking an unexpected turn, but perhaps this misunderstanding would lead to a stronger alliance than they could have imagined. The next morning, news about the humans had spread throughout the entire station. As Kate walked through the corridors with Lisa and Dr. Murphy, aliens stopped to watch them pass. Some even asked to take pictures with the amazing healing humans. I feel like a celebrity, Lisa whispered as they made their way to the main science lab. A celebrity or a zoo exhibit? Kate replied with a small smile. Dr. Greelvach had arranged for the humans to meet with the station's top scientists. When they entered the lab, they found a large room filled with various aliens and scientific equipment. Welcome, humans, Dr. Greelvok said, waving all four of his arms in excitement. We have prepared some demonstrations today to help us all better understand each other. Chief Engineer Ben Calloway from the Intrepid had joined them for this meeting. He was a practical man with strong hands and a friendly smile. What kind of demonstrations? He asked. First, we would like to show you how our different species handle various environments, Dr. Greelvok explained. He led them to a row of clear chambers. These simulate different planetary conditions. In one chamber, an alien that looked like a walking plant was comfortably breathing air that the computer identified as mostly carbon dioxide. In another, a small blob-like creature floated in a thick liquid. A third contained a crystalline being standing in what appeared to be acid. Each species evolved for their specific home environment, explained a new alien that Kate hadn't met before. This one had a gaseous form contained within a special suit. I am Diplomat Threen, the gas being introduced itself. I serve as cultural liaison between species. Dr. Murphy was fascinated. So what happens if a species encounters an environment different from their own? Dr. Greelvok pressed a button, and a small amount of water was sprayed into the chamber with the crystalline being. The alien immediately began to smoke and pull away from the water. For many of us, even brief exposure to different conditions can be harmful, Threen explained. This is why your ability to recover from injuries is so remarkable to us. Kate began to understand more deeply. On Earth, we have deserts, oceans, mountains, forests, all on one planet. We had to adapt to many different conditions. Exactly, Dr. Greelvok said. Now, would you be willing to demonstrate some of your human abilities? Kate looked at her team, who nodded. What did you have in mind? Lieutenant Nicole Winters had joined them from the Intrepid. She was the ship's security officer, athletic and confident. I can show them some physical capabilities, she offered. The aliens set up a series of tests. First, Lieutenant Winters did simple exercises, push-ups, jumping jacks, and a short sprint. The aliens watched in amazement at her strength and endurance. The gravity here is only 80% of Earth's, Nicole explained as she easily lifted a weight that Dr. Greelvok struggled to move. This feels light to me. Chief Calloway showed them human tools and explained how they were designed for Earth conditions. Our equipment needs to withstand rough handling, he told them, demonstrating by dropping a tablet on the floor. It bounced but didn't break. The aliens gasped. One of them picked up the tablet carefully, studying it with 3 eyes. Now, Dr. Greelvok said, Dr. Murphy has agreed to show us your most fascinating ability, your healing process. Dr. Murphy nodded and displayed the pictures he had prepared. The images showed the healing progression of a small cut, from fresh injury to fully healed skin. The aliens leaned forward, watching intently as he explained each stage. And this happens without any medical intervention? Asked an alien scientist. For minor wounds, yes, Dr. Murphy replied. Our bodies have natural defenses against infection and mechanisms to repair damaged tissue. Lisa had brought a first aid kit from the Intrepid and opened it for the aliens to see. These are basic medical supplies that humans carry for emergencies, she explained. The aliens examined everything with great interest: bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers. What seemed ordinary to the humans was revolutionary to the aliens. On our worlds, any injury requiring these items would mean a trip to a medical facility, Dr. Greelvok explained. During a break in the demonstrations, Kate noticed Diplomat Threen floating nearby. Commander Wilson, the gas being said, "Hi. Counselor Neth asked me to explain something important to you." Kate nodded for Threen to continue. Before your arrival, there was debate among council members about whether to allow Earth to join the Confederation. Some feared that your species might be too aggressive or unpredictable given your evolution on a death world. And now? Kate asked. Now many see that what makes humans different could be incredibly valuable. The Confederation has over 300 member species, but none with your particular adaptations. Kate thought about this. So, yesterday's accident might have actually helped our case? Immensely, Threen confirmed. Captain Vorex, who was most strongly opposed to human membership, is now arguing in your favor. Later that day, Kate and Captain Ellis met with Captain Vorex in the station's security center. The reptilian security chief showed them a map of the galaxy with several areas highlighted in red. These are regions the Confederation has been unable to explore or settle due to harsh conditions, Vorex explained. Extreme gravity, radiation, atmospheric toxins, conditions that would be fatal to most member species, but potentially survivable for humans, Captain Ellis said, understanding immediately. Vorex nodded. Your people could go places we cannot. Help when we face crises that would overwhelm our medical capabilities. Kate looked at the map, seeing dozens of unexplored star systems. You're offering us a role as the Confederation's explorers and emergency responders? And protectors, Vorex added. His tone had changed completely from their first meeting. Where there had been suspicion, now there was respect. There are threats in our galaxy that require physical resilience. Captain Ellis smiled. Earth has a long tradition of exploration and rescue operations. I think many humans would welcome such roles. As they left the security center, Kate realized how completely one small incident had changed the course of their diplomatic mission. What had seemed like an embarrassing accident had revealed humanity's unique strengths. Who would have thought, she said to Captain Ellis, that a cut and a band-aid would be our best diplomatic tools? Ellis laughed. Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. When they returned to the main diplomatic chamber, they found it transformed. The walls now displayed images of Earth alongside pictures of other Confederation homeworlds. Ambassador Zixtal greeted them warmly, his fear of humans seemingly gone. We are ready to begin formal negotiations, he announced, and I believe you will find our proposed terms very favorable for Earth. Kate touched the spot on her hand where the cut was already healing. Tomorrow they would sign a treaty that would take humanity to the stars, all because of a small wound and a simple band-aid. The Grand Diplomatic Chamber had been transformed for the treaty signing ceremony. Banners from Earth hung alongside symbols of the Confederation. Hundreds of aliens from different worlds had gathered to witness this historic moment. The air buzzed with excitement. Kate stood with Captain Ellis and the rest of the human delegation. Her palm had healed completely, leaving only a faint pink line where the cut had been. Such a small thing to have changed the course of interstellar relations. Hi. Counselor Neth took the central position at the round table. Today marks a new chapter in galactic history, the crystalline being announced. Earth will become the newest member of the Galactic Confederation, bringing unique strengths to our community of worlds. Ambassador Zixtal stood next to the counselor, his blue feathers carefully groomed for the occasion. The treaty we signed today is different from our standard agreements, he explained. It recognizes the special capabilities of humans and creates a new role within our alliance. Captain Ellis stepped forward to address the gathering. On behalf of Earth, we are honored to join the Confederation. Humans have always been explorers and helpers. We look forward to using our natural abilities to benefit all species. Dr. Greelvach approached with a large screen showing the final treaty terms. Kate read through them with growing satisfaction. Earth would provide specially trained human teams to explore harsh environments that other species couldn't safely visit. In return, the Confederation would share advanced technology with Earth, particularly in space travel and clean energy. Humans would also serve as emergency medical and rescue personnel for crisis situations throughout Confederation space. It's perfect, Kate whispered to Dr. Murphy. We get to do what humans do best, explore and help others. Captain Vorex had taken a position near the human delegation. The reptilian security chief had become their strongest supporter in the council. Your people will make excellent protectors, he said quietly to Kate. Your ability to survive conditions that would kill most of us is invaluable. The formal signing began. Captain Ellis signed for Earth while High Counselor Neth signed for the Confederation. As they pressed their hands to the document, the assembled aliens cheered. Dr. Greelvach approached Kate with a small decorative box. Commander Wilson, we have prepared a special gift for you since your injury. sparked this new understanding between our peoples. Kate opened the box and found what looked like a high-tech first aid kit. It was silver with the Earth symbol on one side and the Confederation logo on the other. "This is a combined medical kit," Dr. Greelvach explained proudly. "It contains both human band-aids and our advanced healing technologies. It symbolizes how our different approaches to medicine can work together." Kate smiled, touched by the thoughtful gift. "Thank you, Doctor. I'll treasure it." After the ceremony, there was a celebration. Aliens and humans mingled, sharing food, drinks, and stories. Kate noticed that the aliens no longer kept their distance from the humans. Instead, they approached with curiosity and respect. "You've become quite the diplomat," Captain Ellis said, joining Kate by a window overlooking the stars. "Your little accident may have been the best thing that could have happened. Sometimes misunderstandings lead to better understanding," Kate replied. "They were terrified of us because they didn't know us. Now they see our differences as valuable." Diplomat Threen floated over to them. "Commander Wilson, there is a group of young aliens who wish to meet you. They have been following the story of the human who survived a fatal wound with great interest." Kate followed Threen to a corner of the room where several small aliens, children of various species, waited. Nervously, they stared at her with wide eyes and different numbers of limbs. "Is it true that you can heal from cuts?" asked one small feathered alien who looked like a younger version of Ambassador Zixtal. Kate nodded. "Yes, humans can heal from many kinds of injuries. And you don't even need special medicine?" asked another child with 6 eyes. "For small cuts, sometimes all we need is a Band-Aid," Kate explained. She looked at Dr. Murphy, who nodded and took out the first aid kit they had shown earlier. "Would you like to learn how humans treat minor injuries?" Kate asked the children. They gathered closer, fascinated. Kate showed them the simple Band-Aids, explaining how they worked. With Dr. Murphy's help, she demonstrated how to clean a pretend wound and apply the adhesive bandage. "Would you like to try?" she asked, holding out some Band-Aids. The children looked nervous but excited. Under Kate's guidance, they practiced on each other, carefully applying the Band-Aids to uninjured skin. They giggled as they peeled off the backing and pressed the adhesive strips in place. "When I grow up, I want to work with humans," declared the small feathered alien. Ambassador Zixtal watched from nearby, his posture showing pride. "It seems you are teaching our next generation to be braver," he said to Kate. "And we're learning. From you too," Kate replied. "There's so much knowledge in the Confederation that humans have never dreamed of." As the celebration continued, Kate stepped away for a moment of quiet. Through the huge windows, she could see her home ship, the Intrepid, docked at the station. Beyond it stretched the vast galaxy, now open to human exploration. Lisa joined her at the window. "Penny for your thoughts, Commander?" "I was just thinking about how differently this could have gone," Kate said. "If I hadn't cut myself on that ceremonial star, they might still see us as dangerous aliens. Instead, we're valued allies," Lisa said. "All because of a Band-Aid." Kate laughed softly. "Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. On Earth, a cut like that would be nothing. Here it showed them who we really are." As they returned to the celebration, Kate noticed Captain Vorek speaking with Captain Ellis. The two were discussing plans for joint security operations. Dr. Murphy was deep in conversation with Dr. Greelvach about exchanging medical knowledge. Earth's place in the galaxy was secure. Humans would travel to stars they had only seen through telescopes. They would help protect species who had evolved in gentler worlds, and all because of a simple misunderstanding about what constituted a fatal wound. The next day, as the Intrepid prepared to return to Earth with the signed treaty, Kate made one last visit to the station's medical bay. She had promised to leave Dr. Greelvach with more information about human first aid. "Commander Wilson," the four-armed doctor greeted her. "I have been studying your Band-Aids extensively. Such a simple solution, yet so effective for your species." "Sometimes the best solutions are the simplest ones," Kate replied, handing him a complete set of Earth medical manuals. Dr. Greelvach accepted them with all 4 hands. "Thanks to you, human-grade medical training will become standard throughout. The Confederation. Your wound has changed everything. Kate smiled. Not the wound, Doctor. The healing. That's what humans do best. We heal, we adapt, we survive. And now we'll help others do the same. As the Intrepid pulled away from the station, Kate watched the silver snowflake grow smaller in the view screen. Their mission had succeeded in ways no one could have predicted. Humanity's journey among the stars had begun not with warfare or competition, but with a band-aid and the unique human ability to heal.